And he didn't even let me finish. And he said, "That's very different than bowling for a strike."
Yes! Yes!
This is gonna be the best day ever. This is gonna be the best day ever. Wake up.
Are we getting BYU back? Are we getting BYU back? Whoa, did he just say BYU had slipped?
Mm-hmm. But we have to also acknowledge that there are some more conservative-leaning members that are still what the youths would call blackpilling.
This episode is brought to you by scripturenotes.com, the coolest way of reading your scriptures online. For more information about Scripture Notes, please make sure you guys visit the link in the description. All right, Luke, my man, what is Elder Gilbert doing over there about BYU? I saw your post today, my man. What is up?
Well, Elder Gilbert's kind of pulled back the screen because, ever since that musket fire talk, it's just been one thing after another. And there's been kind of this, on one side, people saying BYU's down the drain, it's gone, it's woke. And then people on the other side saying, oh, come on, nothing's happening, nothing's changing. And anything that is changing is a good thing. And actually, BYU should be going in this direction. And it's good that we're softening.
Are we getting BYU back? Are we getting BYU
X, Y,
back?
and Z. and Elder Holland's talk was just kind of an unfortunately worded aberration in the long march of history, the arc of justice. And so those are kind of the two extremes of what was going on. But, everything's behind the curtain because these are internal decisions. They're not broadcasting all of their thoughts on BYU out on their Twitter feeds all day long. So Elder Gilbert's kind of gone back and told us some of the behind the scenes of what was going on at BYU. And we have kind of definitive confirmation now. You got it with the musket fire talk a little bit. You got it with what Shane Reese and Gilbert have been saying. But now here he is, Deseret News interview as an apostle, which is kind of crazy because usually they're like lips sealed on everything. But here he is, Apostle Elder Gilbert.
It didn't used to be before the church office building.
Oh, I know.
Not before PR got a hold of them, but now they're back.
Maybe Brigham Young could have used the PR department a couple times, but yeah, we're back, baby.
Oh, this is
so yeah.
Great.
You could just play it. Let's hear it from him.
All right, so here we go. This is Elder Gilbert on Deseret News.
Slipped. BYU had slipped, and there were a lot of pressures for BYU to be just like the world.
Whoa, did he just say BYU had slipped?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so back when it wasn't Wilkinson, that's one of the Wilkins Center's named after. Who is the guy that the Black Menaces ate his lunch in front of him every single day?
Kevin Worthen.
Yeah. So everybody knew like Worthen and on up until like Reese, who was like 50% based. You know what I'm saying?
Reese is still there. Reese was brought on as part of this. So Reese and Gilbert.
Sorry. You're right. Reese is still the president of BYU. I apologize. I got my leadership mixed up. This is the apostle that has ended up being over it. So, keep going.
But it gets even better. It gets better.
Oh, it does. Okay. All right. Then we're just going to keep letting it go.
People would say, why do we have these religious standards? Why do we do all these things? And I remember I was talking to President Holland, and he was bemoaning that he could feel this drift happening to the university. And he's like, what have they done with our school? So
our worst suspicions were not wrong.
Mm-hmm.
This is okay. Right. He continues.
All those people were out there saying, oh, you crazy people, you're just freaking out about stuff. This is just the way the world is now. Nope. Elder Holland was there. And it's so nice. I mean, I don't want everything to just be out in the open because, the Council of the 12, they deserve to have their closed door meetings. But it is kind of cool to see like this. Elder Holland was there behind the scenes going, oh no, like, it sounds like he's just pulling his hair out like, my beloved BYU, what have they done to you? And yes, that's what we all were feeling. So many parents sending their kids out to school and then they come back at Thanksgiving, they come back after they graduate and they're just,
we would
they're
say,
different.
What's up? They would say, why are you apostatizing?
Basically, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Man.
It's just, they're there. And they're there all the time. Nope. Elder Holland, these parents, what we were talking about years ago on WardRadio, same sentiment.
Okay, so I'm going to go back just 5 seconds. Let him continue.
University. And he's like, what have they done with our school that we love so much? And I felt awkward. I wasn't even the commissioner yet. And I felt like I needed to defend them. And I said, well, President Holland, we have the honor code. We have devotionals. We have religion classes. We have the academic freedom policy. And I said, they're like bumper lanes, protecting us from bowling into the gutter. And he didn't even let me finish. And he said, that's very different than bowling for a strike.
Yes! Yes!
Elder Holland dropping wisdom
crap.
From beyond the grave. This is an amazing analogy. And this is like the problem with leadership that you've been talking about. It's like, it's not just that we're not defensive.
Yes.
We don't have to cower. You don't have to shield. That's not the only thing you need to do. You can get out there and you can go for that strike, baby. Let's bowl 300 with this thing and not just try and stop it from falling in the gutter.
Posthumously, Elder Holland is still giving banger sports analogies. He's the one that said we can have no more uncontested slam dunks. Mm-hmm. Remember that? When talking about apologetics and church history and so on and so forth. And now he just literally said that's different than not bowling for a strike. That's different than bowling for a strike. Bro, dude, I've got high hopes for this Gilbert cat, dude. Let's let him continue.
And he said, we need to bowl for a strike at BYU. And just a couple phenomenal things that have happened at that university. In the last 5 years, we started out 5 years ago with 75% of our students. We do an exit survey when the students leave. One of the questions is, did you grow closer to Jesus Christ in your time at BYU? Well, 5 years ago, that was at 75%, much lower than the rest of our institutions. Well, the next year it climbed to 77%. Then the year after that to 83%. This last year it was 87%. There's real momentum there. What's remarkable, though, is the faculty, they wanted this. They live in the same pressures that we feel.
Wait, but I thought the faculty was itching for rainbow pins, bro.
He gives a little caveat in a couple seconds.
And inclusion and diversity and equity, also known as faithlessness, godlessness, Xanax, and cat ladies running your HR department, Wow. Okay. He continues. This is amazing.
And they wanted to stand up and be distinct and different. And with all of that change, over 90% of our faculty report high satisfaction and support as faculty at that university, higher than almost every other secular comparison. So we've been able to drive this change. But because the faculty, for the most part, wanted it, and I'm sure there are.
Okay, there you go. So there's the caveat. So
Okay.
So the faculty, for the most part, and so this was kind of the almost hit piece that the Salt Lake Tribune did on Elder Gilbert almost a year ago.
Okay.
Somewhere around a year ago, which was basically like Elder Gilbert, he laid out these 4 criteria. There's the most faithful ones, there's the pretty good ones, there's the lukewarm ones, and then there's the apostates. And they're out there. It's the Gestapo, it's the Inquisition, like they're weeding out all these people. And actually multiple professors did either leave or leave the university, but it was only a handful.
Oh yeah.
But the thing is, a handful of uncontested belligerents can make a lot of change. And so if you're in the bumper lane mentality, a lot of stuff can happen before you wait, where's the brakes? Let's hit those things and reverse this.
Dude, I am relieved. Now, my only okay. So first off, Luke, was this the guy that instituted that interviewing the temple? Remember when they said you have to have a temple recommend if you're Mormon and you're a professor at BYU, and everybody freaked out. And even I was like, well, I don't think that needs to be an absolute hard and fast rule, but also we don't need to freak out about this. Why are we freaking out? This is a Mormon school.
And it was like they can ask their bishops for like ecclesiastical endorsement. The professors have to get ecclesiastically endorsed every year, just like the students. So it's like, it's the bishops are telling on them, stuff like that. No, Elder Gilbert did this. It was part of
So
what Elder Holland noticed was going wrong.
Elder Gilbert was the one that put in the temple recommend for professors requirement?
Yes. And the other stuff. And that's why the Salt Lake Tribune was freaking out. And so this is the other thing, like the liberal, and I'm not using that politically, but kind of ideologically, liberal people that were saying, oh, don't worry about it for BYU. They were wrong. But we have to also acknowledge that there are some more conservative leaning members that are still what the youths would call blackpilling. Oh, BYU is still bad. It's terrible. They haven't changed anything. It's not getting better. Jump ship. Don't send your kids there. And he's also saying no to that as well.
Well, those people
he's
will
saying,
never
no,
be
we
satisfied.
took the steps.
Those people will never be
Exactly.
satisfied until like polygamy comes back and Utah is white and women only wear dresses and like, I don't know, you only eat Cardio Miracle for breakfast or something. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Same people canceling the Daily Wire. Yeah, those guys.
Oh,
Joking.
those horrible people. Horrible people. No, I'm just kidding. So, wow.
Yeah. So he's both sides get addressed here of like, no, there was a problem and we are fixing it. Like, don't kid yourselves. It was bad.
So
also, we're fixing it. So it's stop complaining about it's not exactly the way you would have done it or it's not good enough. Like, progress is being made and be happy about it.
So my only question for these guys would be like, so where were you 5 years ago when we were complaining about this?
Which guys?
Well, do you remember me and Kwaku's very first episode? Our very first episode of Midnight Mormons was woke BYU professors are leading the youth astray? ? And I remember I heard it from Kwaku. He's like, no, dude, like literally liberal professors that say the Book of Mormon is at best inspired fiction, at worst a forgery, not a real document. They are literally causing faith crises at BYU and leading the youth astray. And I was like, no way, not BYU. That's the impenetrable fortress. And I was dubious myself. And then I'm looking at the evidence and I'm like, whoa, holy crap, this is real. Like, okay, alarm bells. And we were called like misanthropes, right? Now, 5 years later, I'm staring down the mug of Elder Gilbert. I'm glad he's fixing things, but man, we were called a lot of names by a lot of influential people when this happened.
I'm so glad
man.
It's 2026 now. I'm so glad we're past like 2020, man. It feels so good.
Louise.
Everything's coming around. Things are looking up.
This is so fun. Okay, let him finish. Let's see what he has to say.
Wanted this to be more like University of Pennsylvania or Cal Berkeley or some other school, but the majority came to BYU because they loved its mission and they wanted to be different.
Yes. What do you know? People might just want to be different than the crappy, depressed, consumerist, secular counterparts. What do you know? Holy smoke. It's almost as though we want to be a peculiar people and want to live up to the mission statement of enter to learn, go out to serve. Don't just be a cynical academic, which really just means depressed middle-aged man who takes out his social failures on poor unwitting students 30 years younger than him, right? Jeez, This is so refreshing to hear.
Well, and the specificity too. Like he as an apostle, Apostle Gilbert is saying, professors that want it to be like Cal Berkeley aren't aligned with the university's mission, basically. Like he's calling out specific. We're not trying to be UPenn. We're not trying to be UC Berkeley. We're trying to be us, which basically means that Berkeley and Pennsylvania are doing stuff wrong, at least in view of the gospel. And it's okay to want to not do that. It's like, thank you. We don't need to it's important to focus on the gospel. And that's what we're about at BYU. It's just, we don't want to be you, that one over there. We want to be us. And it's just, it's so nice to hear it put bluntly like that.
I actually really liked your take, bro. I really liked your take here where you said, Elder Gilbert, BYU had slipped. There was a lot of, I'm reading your X post where it says BYU had slipped. There was a lot of pressures for BYU to be just like the world. President Holland was bemoaning that he could feel the drift happening to the university. He's like, what have they done with our school that we love so much? Later, he hints that a few professors were participating in his push. Seems most have been weeded out by now, but most were on Team Holland and were excited to get BYU back on track. This was very wise. You said, don't let progressives tell you BYU is going in the right direction and that you were wrong to worry about what was/is happening. And also, I appreciate that you said this, don't let conservatives black pill you into believing it's not being addressed. That's I love a guy who will betray his own team. And as the king of the BYU conservatives, all right. That's actually really good for you to hear because I actually think
this is how we met each other. I would not be doing this if it wasn't for that stuff. Do you remember? Do you know how you got my number?
It was through Greg Madsen.
When we broke the Cougar Chronicle fake racism story at Duke Volleyball.
Oh, yeah.
That's how you got my number.
Oh, I forgot. Oh, interesting. I remember that. Okay.
So this is like, I wouldn't be doing any of this. Jacob Hansen, the debates, the WardRadio, without being in this BYU fight in the Cougar Chronicle.
Dude, look at that.
It's a personal thing. Comes around full circle with Elder Gilbert, and lots of people are excited. I mean, what, 1,200 likes on that post? Like, dude, it's just going around. People are loving this.
It is awesome, bro. And the funny part, he's got such a smooth voice, so it's like, what? You know?
But he's kind of like chill. It's not like this measured. I mean, he's measured and thoughtful, but he's not really calculating. Yeah. To me, at least, it seems. He's just kind of,
just tell Elder it the way it is.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what Elder Holland was saying. Dude, this is what we did.
I am freaking loving this, dog. I am loving this. So, all right. What are your thoughts? What do you think this is going to mean in the future, bro? What's it going to mean in the future?
I think we have a worthy successor for Elder Holland. Not saying the other guys are like not as good or anything, but Elder Holland has a specific niche that he filled. And it seems like Elder Gilbert, referencing back to Elder Holland, is kind of taking up that mantle as that type of personality in the quorum. And it's awesome.
Dude,
the church rolls forth.
I'm freaking loving this, bro. This is freaking A+, dude. I'm so happy. I'm so freaking happy. So, all right, cool. Luke, where can people find you, bro? You're a man worth following.
Luke F. Han on Twitter, and then Doctrine and Governance on YouTube.
Dude, this is freaking rad. Okay, ladies, gentlemen, brothers, sisters, let us know in the comments below what you think. Are you a BYU grad that noticed it as I noticed it? That BYU was having its lunch eaten in front of it for 15 years straight. And now finally that boat is getting turned around. I'm loving this. Before I go, what does Greg Madsen say about all this?
I guess I'm sure he's putting out an episode on this. I would imagine if he hasn't already.
He's probably like, we told you, I'm vindicated. This is brought to you by Cardio Miracle. I'm vindicated.
Except 2 octaves lower. Yeah.
You're right. 2 octaves lower and like 500 bench press pounds bigger, right? You know?
Yeah, exactly.
That is so funny, dude. All right, man. Well, let us know what you guys think in the comments below. For this and more, please make sure you check us out at WardRadio.com.